My DoorDash people, the boy C-Moto, I hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday. I wanted to, as you've seen by the thumbnail, you're probably curious in finding out more details in what it is that I mean when I say things can be good in the gold tier. Now, mind you, we're still all waiting to see how this point scale, this new updated tier thing is going to be, or I forget what they even called it because it's been so long. But they've been testing it, I think, in Texas. I think that's where they've been testing it. I haven't heard anything or much about it. I think a couple of creators out there were in contact with some people that are actually going through that trial or beta. They're beta testing. Sorry, trying to get my words together. But there's been a little verbiage going on out there in terms of how the program is going, or how they're doing it. Is going to be a good thing for DoorDash. At this point, I'm not sure. It's going to be, let's call it almost a year or something like that. I'm not exactly sure from when I did my last video about them rolling that program out. But either way, it hasn't came out yet, so we're all still dealing with this tier program thing, which is what it will continue on to be. But now it's just going to be a point scale. There's not going to be any more required deliveries and that mumbo jumbo. So I'm okay with the tier level thing, but I'm not okay with the required rolling 100 of orders, or rolling amount of orders per se, as I've heard a variety of different numbers across the states. But just right now, at least still, I found myself in the gold. I've been busy with my day job. I normally kind of hover around 125 to 150 orders, and just being so busy, I just hadn't had time to drive. And then a weekend or two comes, and then I don't drive then. That just kind of knocks those orders out, and it puts me into the gold. And it's normally right around 85 to 95 that it puts me at, so it's not hard for me to climb back out. But as you see from that thumbnail, and people that are interested, generally speaking, you can still get good orders. Now, mind you, I'm always going to say your market is going to be your market, no matter what state you're in, or based on the state that you're in, depending on the wages there, the cost of living, all that stuff has to be taken into account. Again, so many different variables. So I don't want you to take it that you're making these amounts per se, but my point here is just to say that even in the gold, you can still get good orders. For the most part, is it less that you normally get? Yeah, I would say so, because there's orders that I would have gotten that would have paid more being in the platinum, and that's what I don't like. I don't like that part where similar orders, and of course I'm not going and recording every order that I get out there, but for the most part, all my orders are generally similar in the sense. When I'm in the gold, am I always getting the top paying orders? I know I'm not. The orders I am getting, in comparisons to getting those same orders in platinum, I feel like I'm being paid more in platinum. So that's the one thing that I don't like, and there's no way to know it. There's no way to find out. There's no way to prove it. To know that they're just paying you less in the gold, not necessarily pairing you up with offers that are for the gold tier drivers. I personally feel that it's just a way for DoorDash to pay you less, because at the end of the day, you don't know what the cost is going into your ride, and that's the one thing that I don't like about DoorDash and even Uber Eats, Grubhub, on and on, is because when I've called before, I'm getting to the point of the video. Sorry, just kind of rambling on at this point. But I don't like the fact that DoorDash doesn't have a formula that they use. They use a formula, but they don't have anything that they can give us to figure out. And I think they would be not in trouble, but they would have to stick to, if they had a formula that they could give us as drivers to figure out when we get an order, okay, we get an order and it's $1.50 per mile. Okay, I do that math. Okay, the 3 miles is a such and such amount. Like you would know that, okay, well, I'm gonna at least make this amount on this trip based on the miles alone. Then obviously plus whatever the tip is. So I have been paying attention to like tips and stuff like that. I have gotten a lot of customers that will tell me, hey, did you get your tip? Something's going on out there where a lot of customers are asking, hey, did you get your tip? Does it show you the tip? Sometimes it just says including tips. Sometimes it will tell you the tip when you get the order. And then of course at the end, it will let you know as well. So I don't approach customers in the sense and be like, hey, did you tip me? What amount was it? I don't do that, and I won't do that. But the ones that I do get, it seems like everything is up to par, because they'll tell me, hey, I gave you a $5 tip and I get the $5. I know there's been a couple of lawsuits when it came to that or whatever it is, because you wouldn't know what a customer has tipped you because it runs through DoorDash first. So I know, like I said, there was a lawsuit or two in regards to that, tips being taken and this and that. So I would like to assume that DoorDash and any other companies that get it together, so all it takes is one time. And it actually happened to me in an early video when I first opened my channel, when I first started my channel, that a tip was sent in for me as the driver for a pizza pickup, and the owner of the restaurant kept that tip, and it was not forwarded to me because the customer ordered it through their website, but she specified slightly different case, because she ordered it through their website, but for delivery, which their delivery guys were DoorDash. But she specified for the tip in detail that this is for your delivery driver, for the delivery driver. They didn't have delivery drivers at all. They used DoorDash as delivery drivers, but the guy got the tip through when the lady paid through their app or through their website, and he decided to keep the $20 tip. And mind you, this order was a leave at the door, but the customer happened to come out to the to pick up the order from me. And she just asked me, did I get my tip? And I'm like, what tip? So I closed the order out, and there was no tip there. And you can imagine what happened from that point, where I ended up signing out, or I ended up pausing, but I think I signed out. She asked me to go along with her to the restaurant just so she can get in front of the owner and find out what's going on, because she specified in the app that this money was for the driver, not for the restaurant, and he decided to keep it. And I wouldn't have known if I would have left the food there at the door. So it was just luck on my end to hear that, and I was all for the drama. At that point, I was all for it because I wanted to see the look on that owner's face or whatever it is. But like I said, slightly different situation because she did order through their website, and it wasn't a DoorDash thing. But like I said, again, depending on the states that you live in, what the pay is, how much money DoorDash is bringing in, and these are things that you don't know. You're never gonna know. You can assume that it's probably slower in certain types of markets or certain types of cities in certain states. And then you have your cities that are just busy. Where just like here in Southern California, we're crazy busy. But to get back to the point, I do find myself in gold every now and then, where I got to get myself out of it. I got to get out there and drive and do 10, 15, 20 orders just to get myself out of it. And then a couple days from there, get myself ahead to give myself a cushion just in case I do need to take some time off. At least I have those rides, those deliveries just to kind of curve when I do need to take the time. But when I do fall into gold, for the most part, most of the orders seem like they're less than what I get in platinum, and they're the same generally type of orders. But at the same time, I want to make it clear that being in the gold doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting crappy offers or crappier offers. Again, the way I have my account set up, I'm open for every available option to be able to get an offer. Again, obviously your merchant pickups, your shop and delivers, which is probably nowadays 90% of what it is that I'm doing because I'm a pro shopper. Have the alcohol, part of the pizza program, and then of course I'm logged in for the catering or large orders because of the catering bags that I have submitted. So I'm tied all the way across in every program possible. So when you limit yourself again with the programs that you can involve yourself in, that's just more offers that can be offered to you that you are not getting if you're not opted in. So that's number one. But as you can see here, these are my current ratings right now. My overall ratings themselves, it's a 99% acceptance rate. I messed around and I missed an order accepting it, and it was an add-on. I missed it. I missed accepting it. It was a notification thing, and I missed the order, and it sucked. I remember the order. It wasn't nothing but like $5, and it was like for a half a mile, but I missed accepting it or whatever else. I thought I did, and it timed itself out, and it put me at 99%. So I was so mad. I'm not like that, but it's just like, oh man, because now I have to cycle through 99 more acceptings of orders, and I accept all my orders, so it's just a matter of time before it bounces off. But I got to circle through 99 accepting offers to then get rid of that one decline. So that's the thing. Again, a lot of people don't know. You decline one, you got to accept the next 100 to knock that one off. So if you're just a consistent declining driver, that's why it's so hard to get out of that ditch. Again, I have spoken on this before, but like I said, just so you know, you can get good offers. Specifically, these are the couple orders that I'm speaking on, just as examples. They are within the gold tier, and I am a pro shopper. So again, these are my ratings. There's 99% acceptance rating, 100% completion, 100% on time rating. That one can be tough for some people. You got to know how to operate when it comes to this app. You got to know how to drive. It's not difficult, but for a lot of people, I can see where it is, and you would have to get yourself out of a lower percentage to get to 100% on that note. As you can imagine, the higher your percentages are in these areas, the better off you are in terms of the way DoorDash's system sees you, whether it's a person or just their computer system, which I can assume is a computer system. At the end of the day, it all benefits you. So this is me. Again, this is not for you to go and set yourself with hundreds all the way down and this and that. I'm also working on getting my it's a personal thing, working on me getting a personal customer rating score of 5 stars. So again, I got a 4-star at some point in the last 100 orders, and I'm just trying to get a total of 100 5 stars, where I can get a 5-star rating across the board. So between that and accepting all my orders to bump that one off, I will have a perfect rating system, which I can assume is the reason why I get the orders that I get, whether it's in gold or whether it's in platinum. Now, silver tier, I'm not even going to bother even trying to see what happens in the silver tier. I just don't want to put myself down that low to even worry about it. But of course, occasionally I do fall in the gold tier. So again, like I said, these are my current ratings. I'm almost 8,000 deliveries. I don't do this full time. You got people out there with 15, 20,000 deliveries. I have been driving 7 years, so I should be at that amount. But because I just really do it part-time, I'm really not out here every day like that, as I do have a day job. That's my career that I'm going to be retiring from with the government. So this DoorDash thing is just all extra money for me. But that was my full overall ratings there. Then there's my ratings for my shopping. As I'm a pro shopper that they just implemented into the rating system, I got a 6 for 6 there with no issues there. So that part's good and clean. So, and again, this is all me being in the gold tier. So the first order here that I want to speak on, $44.57 that came through. It was 2 shopping orders. I think it was 61 items. And it was for a total of 6.1 miles. You do the math into the 44.57 that the total was for these two grocery shop orders. And again, that was two orders, total of 61 items, at 6.1 miles between the two. That's also including going to the store. So you can imagine how short these trips were. That then equals $7.30 a mile. So that's why I tell you, like, I get between $3 and $7 per mile. On average, 90% of the time, I'm getting the $3 to $7 per mile. So that's how it makes it easy for me to just accept orders, because I'm taking anything that's $3 a mile, even if it's just a mile. That's $3 that I made that people dream of having, in a sense. Now, are you the type that you want $3 a mile and you want it to be a 10-mile trip? Like that's just not realistic. Like every now and then you'd probably get something like that if that was the case, but do not expect to get $3 a mile on $10 on a 10-mile trip. Like I generally for the most part don't see that happening. And again, this one was just 6 miles, and I got $7 a mile. But then again, you look at my ratings. And these are the difference between being in gold with crappy ratings, generally speaking, and being in gold and having as high of ratings as you possibly can. I think those two are different. You're just to a point to where you're damn near gonna be in silver. I think that level of ratings, even though you're both in gold, that level of ratings will definitely be a different thing from that person to then my ratings at a top level in gold. So that's the reason why I keep my ratings the way they are, because I get offers like this. Now, would there have been more in platinum? I don't know. I can only speak of the way I got it. But being in gold, and I can only imagine it's because of my ratings. Come to shopping, there's my pro shopper ratings, which the 0 misses, there's no issues, there's no quality issues, no nothing, everything is perfect. So a system will see you, generally speaking, as a perfected driver in the sense. Then we have this other order here, $29 for 9.4 miles, no problem. And that one is $3, and it comes and you divide the 9.4 into the 29 bucks. That's $3.08 a mile at that point. Again, in gold. So it's not to say that you can't get offers. I just truly feel like the tier you're in is going to be the tier you're in. Whatever tier you're going to be in, have your ratings as good as you possibly can have them, because at the end of the day, it's a computer system that sees this in terms of orders and stuff going out to you. So if you're a crappy shopper, or if you got crappy ratings and you're in, generally speaking, you're still can be in the gold tier, I would say, generally speaking, don't expect the highest of the gold offers that you can possibly get. Just don't do it just because the computer system is looking at your ratings. If they're all over the place, and if you're shopping, you're missing items, you're not finding items, blah, 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 don't expect the high paying orders. So that's where I feel there are two differences, type of drivers that can be in gold, and it all can narrow down and be based on your ratings. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to just kind of explain to you guys, just because I'm not in gold that often like that, and when I am, it's a very short time, but I am curious about the orders that I do get in terms of what the costs are in comparisons to when I'm in the platinum, or when I'm the platinum tier, which is obviously that money is great or whatever it is. But this is another reason just to kind of show you how I'm able to accept these offers, and not do any declining, just because they're most of the time they're just offers like this. And like I said, 90% of the time I'm getting shopping orders. It's just what it is. So it seems like there's just not a whole lot of shoppers out there, I'm just assuming, because it's like 90% of my offers are shopping. That just means that there's just not a whole lot of shoppers. Everybody's just wanting to just go into a merchant and just pick up the food and go. And I totally get it, especially for those that don't like shopping, but I like to open up every possibility that I possibly can for any offers that can be sent to me. And that's where I do get a variety of different offers, but 90% of them are the shopping. And I'm good with that, because for me to go and make $44.57, I probably have to do anywhere between 2 and 5 merchant deliveries, plus you tack on all the miles to and from the restaurant, and then to a customer 4 times. Then you do the math on those miles versus just doing the 6.1 miles and getting $44.57, and I'm shopping for 2 orders. That probably didn't even take me an hour, but let's call it an hour in total with the delivery. So call it 30 minutes, 35 minutes shopping, and then another 20 to 25 minutes between the two. Again, 6.1 miles from the time I accepted it. So that was a trip to the store, and then a trip from that store to a customer, then from that customer to another customer. 6.1 miles total, or whatever it is. So I will leave it at that, guys. Just wanted to kind of provide you guys with some insight when it came to this. I think I'm a few orders from being back in the platinum or whatever it is, so I'm gonna have to stick it out a little bit longer. That way, I don't have to worry about doing any scheduling, and that's the only problem that I have with gold is all the scheduling. Because in my area, it seems like a lot of people may not have jobs, so they do this DoorDash thing. So as soon as the schedule is available, they snatch it up. So I can't pre-advance schedule myself or whatever it is. But it is what it is. I'll be okay. But again, just know your ratings, they do mean something. A lot of people out there say it don't mean a thing. Every now and then you will get a nice, decent order, even with crappy ratings, but don't live life on the basis or on the side of, I'll just have crappy ratings. That's like going to a day job and just saying I'm gonna do the crappiest level of work that I can and just have a bad work ethic and expect to still just get paid a higher amount or expect to get a raise or something like that when you don't have a good work ethic. So with that said, I know we got to deal with these customers and sometimes they don't tip, and I try not to let it stress me, and that's why I've always told you, don't depend on tips. The moment you depend on tips is the moment that you've lost, because you're not going to get tips on every order or whatever it is. And at that point, if you decide you want to decline an order because it's not tipped, that $1, $2, or $3 is what's going to make that difference, is you accepting it. Only put you in a deeper situation later on in terms of getting better offers, because the declines are just pouring in and dropping you deeper and deeper and deeper in that ditch. So like I said, this computer system, whether it's AI or not, it's recognizing all that stuff, and that's what it's going to determine. And I'm sure they have it set up that way, that if drivers are just declining, don't send them good offers. And every now and then they just have to force an offer on to you in terms of a higher pay amount, because they got to get the order picked up. But it's not a way to live in terms of, it's not a way to set your ratings. It's not a way to dash. Just having crappy ratings and just waiting for that one order. You sit and decline 9 out of 10 orders just to get the one nice order, and at the same time you've trashed your ratings. So with that said, I think that's about it. I will leave you guys at that. Let me know down below if you've been in platinum and you went to gold. Did you notice a difference? And if you've been to different levels of the gold with your ratings or whatever it is, let me know if you've seen a difference while you were in gold. Additionally too, if you were in platinum and went to gold, what changed for you? Did you notice a lot of change? Does it stay the same? I can assume there's a variety of all this stuff going on or whatever it is. Some benefits and some don't benefit at all. So let me know down below what you guys think when it comes to that. But for me, when I fall in the gold, it's like I don't want to be in gold just for the scheduling part, but the orders seem to be like decent and still kind of good, but not as great as they are in platinum or whatever it is. Like I said, I wouldn't know it because I'm in gold right now, but I don't know if it would be the same if I was in platinum and got that same offer. But I just don't like that control like that. I like to know, like, okay, for each mile I drive, this is what I'm going to make. But in some cases, I'm getting paid a whole lot more. Like in this case, 6.1 miles. If I was just getting $3 standard per mile, that wouldn't be the case, because in this case, I got $7.30 per mile. So is it a good thing to know a formula and stay based on that standard? Or would it be a bad thing? So now that I think about it, I don't know which way I'd want it. It's like it would be nice to know just to make sure you're not being screwed. But at the same time, when you get orders like this where the payout is a lot higher than what your base mile pay would be, you wouldn't get that, or you would lose it. I don't know. Kind of crazy now that I think about it. But let me know what you guys think on that part. Would you want to know what you would make per mile standard that you can do the math on, and it just always be that? Or would you take the chance and not want to know what you'd make per mile and just see what offers are thrown out at you? In this case, like I said, $7.30 per mile, I wouldn't have got that. It would have been the standard $3 if that's what the standard would have been. So leave you guys at that. Your boy C Moto, you know what it is. Till next time, peace out.